Thanks for stopping by our channel today. I'm Jody, Purple on 3.
I'm Tommy G.
And we have the distinct pleasure of meeting with John of John and Miriam's Travel Vlog today. He's got a wonderful channel. He and Miriam are Spyder ambassadors. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that. And they are planning a trip, and we're planning a trip, and so we're going to compare some notes here today.
Congrats on being an ambassador, John. That's an honor. It really is.
You know, it surprised me. I had no idea. I just noticed that they were leaving comments on my channel, and I went, wow.
Whoa.
I was impressed. And then I got a request to make a phone call, and you know, I was convinced it was a scam phone call, and I dug into it. I was like, oh, they're for real.
Wow.
Yeah, it's an honor. I'm proud to be an ambassador, brand ambassador for Can-Am On-Road.
You and Miriam took an epic trip last year.
Yes, we did.
So can you just retouch a little bit about that trip and then tell the viewers where you guys are headed this year?
Sure. Last year was a dream come true trip for myself and Miriam. She had retired the year before, so this was my gift to her as a retirement gift. And we loaded up our Can-Am Spyder, and we went from the East Coast to the West Coast at all points in between, logging 7,400 miles, covering 18 states, if I remember correctly now.
Awesome.
Wow.
Accidentally landed in Kansas by mistake.
We were in Kansas too, Dodge City, Kansas, with all the outlaws. Well, we had to visit there because somebody's motorcycle had some issues, and wouldn't you know it, we had to stop at Outlaw Harley Davidson in Dodge City, Kansas, so they could fix the old Iron Horse.
That's something that we had in common with you guys as well, because you guys had an issue too on your trip, didn't you?
Yes, I have always, it seems to be in my life, beaten the odds on many things. I am told that a fuel pump is almost never fails on the Can-Am Spyder. That's why nobody keeps them in stock, and mine failed. We had to order a part from the manufacturer, and we got it in, and we got to spend an extra week in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
There you go.
Tulsa's nice.
Yeah.
It is.
Tell us about where you guys are headed this year.
This year's trip is shorter. I know for most people, they're going to go, well, what do you mean short? Well, it's only going to be a month.
Only a month.
So for us, that's short. Heading up to Quebec City in the Quebec province of Canada, which is the furthest northerly point on our trip. And while we're up there, we're going to go to Valcourt, which is where the manufacturing plant is for the Can-Am Spyder. And they also make, if I remember correctly, it is the Ski-Doo, which is their snowmobile, and they make those in the summertime, and they make the Spyders in the wintertime. So we'll be watching them put together snowmobiles.
Oh, that's pretty exciting.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you speak French?
I do not. I have a story. I had some gentlemen staying with me for about a month while they were going through some advanced flight training, and they were from France, and I tried to impress him with my single phrase in French, and he looked at me and he said in perfect English, I have no idea what that was. I just know it wasn't French. So I don't even try to speak French. Miriam studied French in high school and college, and she's been brushing up on her French.
Good for Miriam. That's awesome.
There's an old saying that I picked up through my travels. The two most important things you need to say in any language is don't shoot and where's the bathroom. So we're looking forward to that trip, hopefully launching in the first week of June, probably the second week, around the 10th is our launch date.
What is something you learned on your trip last year that has stuck with you moving forward to future trips?
Well, I don't know if we actually learned anything new and unexpected. It reinforced what I already knew. It's important to take rest days. It's important to take non-ride days, even though they may not be rest days because you're sightseeing and that sort of thing. To expect the unexpected, whether it be the mechanical breakdown or bad weather, and to prepare for a little bit of adversity. We always try to carry some freeze-dried meals with us and things like that, because we had no idea that a major national park would have a power failure and the restaurant to be closed, and there was no food in the restaurant for about a 24-hour period of time. And the nearest restaurant would have been a couple hours away. So we were able to fend for ourselves. So carry food with us when you travel. And this trip reinforced what we already learned about being flexible and being prepared.
Well, you said you guys are going to be gone about a month on this adventure.
Correct.
How many miles do you anticipate traveling total, and how many miles do you plan to travel each day approximately?
Well, we have a system that we find has worked for us. We shoot for about 225 miles a day. We find 250 is our top end, and sometimes we'll have a weird day where we'll only travel 75 miles just to get to another place we want to visit. About 225 is where we shoot for, and that seems to get us into our wherever we're staying, get in, unwind, settle down, catalog our video, and just enjoy where we're at.
That sounds like a good plan.
That's a good plan because...
Can we do that, honey?
What? No, we can't do that.
Oh.
And we've also found that since we shoot video, if you stop somewhere, set up a tripod, shoot something, if you're doing a driving segment where you set the tripod up, drive back, then drive past your camera on the tripod, then have to drive back, turn the camera off, pack it up again, you've lost a half an hour to 45 minutes and you've gone 300 yards.
Right.
You know, John, I tried that same thing in Arizona, and someone just drove right past me and kept going. So I had to pack up everything and chase after her, you know. So I don't do that. I don't do that anymore.
To answer the second part of your question, we're shooting for about 4,500 miles in this upcoming trip. At least once a week, we like to take a complete rest day. As you know, traveling can be exhausting, especially when you're on the Spyder or motorcycle. And so we actually try to take a actual rest day where we may do laundry, I may edit some video, but we don't do any sightseeing. We just relax. So we try to do that at least one day a week.
Do you guys have all of your travel arrangements as far as your lodging already made?
No. Our general theory is we'll make the reservations for a night, either the morning of that day's ride or the evening prior, and that's where we'll plan that out. So we'll have a fixed destination with the reservations. I just don't feel comfortable traveling across country to a town and not having reservations when you get there, because I don't want to be searching for a place to stay in a small town and there be nothing available. That would be not good. I don't like sleeping on the asphalt.
We've seen you eat the MREs,
Yep.
and so I touched base with Miriam and asked her which ones you like, and so we ordered them. We ordered one and had it for dinner one night, and we're like, these are pretty good. They're not so bad at all. So we're gonna get some of those also.
The only problem with that is she got used to it, so now it's just all I get to eat here.
Yeah. How often do you eat those when you're traveling?
Probably maybe 2 a week, whether it be a breakfast or whether it be a dinner entree. You get to your destination, you're tired. You don't want to go anywhere. So you just boil some water, make a meal, or if you're too far away from a restaurant. So it's just good to have options.
So you have your route already planned, correct?
We do not have a route plan.
Okay.
It is going to be a mix of back roads and highways, depending on how we feel, the weather conditions. And we have, I call them targets, where we want to stay for the night. That way we have a destination in mind. And if the weather's bad, we'll take a major highway or interstate just to get there. If the weather is good and we're feeling good, we'll take back roads to really enjoy the ride. So we can mix and match, because when you're traveling in the Northeast, there are a lot of road options. Compared to out west, there are not. And where you're going, there's only one road to get to Alaska, and you guys have to take that road.
Well, the route you're going to take, you're going to go from Virginia to Quebec. You're going northeast that way?
Right.
And then you're going to come back how?
Generally a similar area, but we're going to be on different roads, different routes. We're going to thread the needle around the big cities such as New York City, Baltimore, Washington, and come down the eastern shore of Virginia. I don't know if you had a chance to travel the eastern shore of Virginia. It's quaint. It's like a throwback in time. It's a major highway. It's 4-lane, but it's remote. There are lots of seafood restaurants, and we just like traveling that corridor. And then once we're at the end of the eastern shore, we take the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel, and 17 miles later, we pop up in our hometown of Virginia Beach.
Nice.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
We may take that route back. We have to finish the New England states here in a few weeks, and so we'll head up to Maine and then come down the eastern seaboard with Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and then we could do that little route. That'd be nice.
Well, you might find that if you look at the map, that peninsula I think it's commonly referred to as the Delmarva Peninsula. Where it ends, it's so far south that may be a long loop around for you guys, but it is very scenic though, and the food's good.
Well, we don't mind long loops.
Yeah.
I would say not.
when people, we tell people we're going to Alaska, and then we tell people in Colorado and California, we may see you this year, and they're like, but you're going to Alaska, and we're like, yeah. But we have to get home somehow.
we have to get home somehow.
Right.
we just take the long way home.
Yeah, take the long way home. What plans have you made specifically for this trip while traveling out of the country?
Well, I'm obsessive compulsive with planning and watching YouTube. I watch too many YouTube videos, but I try to learn. And so I watch people who have traveled across the Canadian border recently to pick up some tips. And I think one of the biggest common errors from Americans is they think, well, Canada is just like another state, and you just drive across it. And they don't understand that the United States Constitution does not exist in Canada. They have their own set of laws. They have their own rules, their own culture, and where we're going, their own language. So we know that we have to start doing mileage in kilometers, buying fuel in liters, and speaking French. Such things as healthcare insurance, which you and I have talked about. Make sure we have healthcare coverage, cell phone coverage, because Verizon, which is our service provider, doesn't go into Canada. They do have an arrangement with a Canadian cell phone provider, but it costs a little bit more money.
How about, John, you tell us a little bit about your Spyder. What year, what is it? What model year?
It is a 2014 Can-Am Spyder RT SE6, which means it has the bigger engine, the 1330 cc with a 6-speed transmission, and it's the limited edition, which means there's a few more bells and whistles. I don't know what I can say that other than the fact we love it, and it's probably wrong to love a machine that much.
Well, what do you like best about riding this Spyder?
That is a interesting question. When I was dropping my Spyder off at the dealership to get some work done this week, a gentleman walked up to me, apparently was in the market to consider a Spyder, and he looked at the Spyder, he looked at me and says, "Is it worth it?" and I'm actually in the process of doing a video because this is our anniversary month for picking up our Spyder. It's our Spyderversary. And
I like that.
And I said, I don't know where to start. This has, to say it's changed our life would be probably overly dramatic, but it has added to our life in ways we could never have expected. Yeah, we travel, and we love traveling on the Spyder, but we also love the fact that we run into people. Some are fellow Spyder riders, such as yourselves. We get to meet and hang out with folks like you, and then the people who walk up to us and go, "What is that?" If you don't want to have personal contact with people, don't park your Spyder or get on your Spyder when there's other people around, because you will start a conversation.
It is definitely unique because even in California, I was surprised the number of people that came up to her and said, "What is that? What is that three-wheeled?" And then of course you're at the gas station and you need to get going, and they're like, 25, 30 minutes later, you're still talking about it. It's like, "Have a nice day." It's like, it's just neat. It is.
Yeah. So it's a conversation starter. It puts you in touch with the community that I didn't really know existed, and has caused us to have more friendships. And I don't know what to say. It's just, it has really altered our life in ways that I could have never anticipated. It's
an easy machine to ride as a motorcycle, and it's fun. People, Jody did a video of last year with eight first-time Spyder riders.
You have to check that one out, John. I let 8.
Is that when you were on the trip? Tell me where that was at, and I may have seen that one.
Well, it was all over the country because I let people ride it in California, Colorado, Virginia, here at home. And they're all moto vloggers and all have had two-wheel experience, and they were all surprised when they got off the Spyder. They had no idea they had an idea in their head what it was going to be like, but once they got off and shared their experience, they were like in awe, really. It was kind of neat to see. What are some of your favorite things that you and Miriam like about being Can-Am ambassadors?
Wow, that almost dovetails into the last one. When we first became aware of the Can-Am Spyder, we were looking for ways to travel other than just riding in a car. The Spyder entered our consciousness because I was looking for a stable platform more than a two-wheeler, because I know that it's inevitable with Miriam on the back. It's not if, but when I would drop it with her on the back. And the thought of picking that thing up with all of our gear on it as I get older will become more and more difficult. So I wanted a more stable platform. So we began doing the research, and I love the brand. I love what the brand represents. The concept that we can all ride, that's their tagline. And it's so true, because more and more people are, especially women, are getting onto the Spyder. And the fact that I can share that with people, and I'm a natural storyteller. I love to tell stories, and my wife wishes that I wasn't so much sometimes. But I love to share what the Spyder can do. It opens up so many opportunities to meet people, to travel, and to gather stories. When you travel, it's like, yeah, our Wolf Creek Pass snowstorm in 2019 was not something fun to live through, but that's the highlight of our trip when we tell that story again. Yeah, we got stuck in the snow in Wolf Creek Pass and on a motorcycle. And so those are great stories, and just the look on people's faces, it shocks them. And in a way, I kind of like that. So, but I love representing a brand that is so inclusive and has done so much for people to experience life on a little bit of a different level. So right. I guess that sort of sums it up.
Yeah,
well,
that's
John, ask us what we're going to do after we finish the 50 states in America.
What are you guys going to do when you finish your... Well, first of all, how are you going to do 50 states? How are you going to take your Spyder to Hawaii?
Well, we'll figure it out. There's always
what are you going to do when you finish your 50-state tour riding?
There's always a boat leaving from, California somewhere.
What are we going to do? Have we talked about this?
We're
going to start over.
We are going to start over, and I'm going to be on a Spyder, and I'm going to do 50 states with purple on my Spyder.
Oh, well, outstanding.
He's finally coming over to the bright side.
Absolutely. It's a unique platform. It is so intuitive to ride, and I wish more people could actually just try it. And I think they believe wrongly that it's out of their price range, and it's not true. Spyders with the used inventory market is significant. So I really think anybody who really wants to, with a little bit of planning, can probably find themselves on a Spyder.
Yeah.
And travel.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
I agree. Yes, yep. Absolutely.
Definitely. Well, John, I have something for you and Miriam, and
okay.
I'll give you a clue because I know you can't see it, but it says TNT, whatever that stands for. Great for weddings, birthdays, graduation parties, and for celebrations. So we want to celebrate your ride this year, and our trips, and all those motovloggers and just people that just get out there and ride. Here's a little something for you guys that you'll be able to see. Oh, here, wait, that didn't work so well. Here, yay! Yours. That thing, I gotta get a new one.
I think he tried to recycle these poppers. Thank you so much, John.
Thank you, John and Miriam.
You guys. And you're back on the road how soon?
June
2
2nd.
weeks.
June 2nd.
June 2nd.
Yep.
Okay. I will communicate with you our itinerary, so if we cross paths in the same time frame, maybe we can connect for a meal or something.
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
Oh, that'd be wonderful, yeah.
Thank you for taking the time out of your day to tell us about your travel plans, too.
And remember, John and Miriam.
Yes.
Be safe out there, and begin each and every day with gratitude.
Amen.
Bye for now.
Bye for now. We hope you enjoyed our interview with John. If you're interested in hearing more about our Alaska trip, check out his video and his interview with us. Thanks for stopping by.